Hi, welcome to another video on my TXT discovery robot with wheels, sonar, camera and touch sensors. Last time the problem was found that the pulse counters to which the motors are attached or connected to actually run a distance seemed to be quite off. And if I run the program again, and I'm running the commuter firmware, holding my hand on a short distance in front of the sonar, it is let's see, quite obvious that not all data is consistent. So what I am going to do is have a better look at the code where it comes to the counters. Counter if contact 1, I already set that. And the point is also, should this be inside the sync data begin, because so far I have put it outside it and just with the motors inside it. While this clearly is a point of control for the counters as well, so I think I should put this outside. That being said, if I look here, it is the exact same. It is outside the sync a sync body, if I can call that way. Here's a sync body, says speed and distance, but not the counter value. So I think I should move this, and counter pre can just as easily be stated here. Should I call the camera to a hold? I don't think so. I think I'm going to move this one into this body and then see whatever happens. So this is one, which also indicates that this one has to move 2 lines down, or anyway from here to, let's say, between data begin and motor rechts stop. So let's do that. So that's one thing. Distance is no problem. Then we go on, and this is another one which has to move below. Is it nice to have this one as well? I do think so. So let's put one in here, and let's call that contact 1 and 2. Sounds reasonable. and let's see how that works out. So after these changes, just a test, a little test. And I'm not doing anything, so it says counter pre, which is, as you've seen, in front after the motor set, but in before the if statements. And counter end is 11. And this is sonar. So that is 7 ticks. Now let's write that down. 7 ticks. First attempt. Let's run it again. Same circumstances. So no sensor touching, no sonar detection. Should do exactly the same. Well, it is not. Pre is 0, end is 1. Once again. And distance is for 248. Let me write that down as well, because I'm not quite sure what the first was. Here, pulse count 10. And this cover distance is 249. Then it is nice to have this one as well, because this was the second run, this was the fourth, this was the first run. So this is also 248. So wait a minute, distance is just measured, which is measured distance. Yes. So it has no clue noting that down. Anyway, let's run it again. Pre 10 and 24. It's 14 different. And the second run was 1 different. And the first one was 7. Wait a minute. Counter pre 0, counter end 9, counter. Right. Let me go back, because now I have to take a very good look at the previous run. This is 0, and this is 10, and this is 10 to 24. So I have to be more careful in so this was 224 in the end. So 0 to 10 and then 10 to 24. Going to the previous one. This was 0 to 5 and 5 to 15. 0 to 5 and 5 to 15. So that's also a big difference. Going one further back, which is, where's the pre? Here's the pre, is 0 to 1. And that's it. 0 to 1. Is that correct? No, because here it says suddenly 4. So here it starts with 0, then goes to 1, and then pre is suddenly 4. And it ends with 11. And that was the first run, I think. Does it make sense? None whatsoever. None whatsoever. And if I look at this one, pre is 0, and is 9. And then we go from 9 to 6, which doesn't make any sense at all. I have no clue. So after these 5 tests, let's look at the sonar. Here I should combine these two printing lines. So I insert just this, then the lead one, and another point is of course that this line is not within the sync data body. The question is, should I do so? Because this is within a while loop and it keeps being printed while it is finished, while it's only for me the start of it. That said, should I add a sync data body? I'm not sure yet. I'll leave it for now. Oh, here goes the same. So if sonar, let's say smaller or equal to 4, which removes, and then remove this line, so we know exactly what happens and when. Here we have another one, but this is the end. So once again, let's do a run. This one, and see whatever happens when using the sonar. Holding my hand now in front of the sonar at 30 centimeters something. Yeah, exactly 30 centimeters. So what is the pre doing? Pre is 0 and is 8. Pre is 14 and is 10. How does that make sense? It looks like in some cases the counter is being reset. Because the program hasn't ended yet, and yet the pre is more than the end. Not logical. Let me write this down anyway. It starts every time with a 0, so that is in itself is alright. Then it ends with 8, and the pre is then suddenly 14 and it ends with 10. Weird. Another one also with sonar, holding my hand closer at say 15 centimeters maybe. Ooh, that was really breaking sound, but that was alright because it signaled between 10 and 15 at first, and then we have a pre at 0. Good. Then 9. And where's another pre? I don't see the other pre actually. One pre and an end. Am I overlooking something? No. So one pre and one if and one end. And the end is the same as the if. How's that possible? As far as the last results go, from 0 to 9 and then ending with 9, that may be because it was a breaking and it runs back a bit. But then it is a very much a coincidence that that the counter goes back in exactly to the same spot. So you have a sonar count, it runs back and it ends at the same way, at the same counter? I don't think so. Alright. Let's try again. Holding my hand at the same location. But it doesn't run back this time. And a pre of 0. Then an end of 3. A pre of 8. And the end of 6. Yeah, right. Okay. There's one thing I should do about this, and that is indeed verify how the counter is working exactly. When it is working, how it is working, etc. Now this I have said a long time ago, because I didn't know how this works, but considering the very short distances it does now, and with these with these settings being recorded, I should actually get those counter values better into the program, not just measuring but actually using. The question is a little bit how I should do that. The best way is to, because you have a set distance and the counter value, if the set distance is measured, if these are the same, the set distance and the counter value, then there is a really problem, because it doesn't use apparently the distance as we've seen before. No matter how big this number is, it covers a very short distance. And if these two are the same, that's no good. However, these don't look like the same. On the other hand, I have two counter values, so it may very well be that only one is not correct. So that's a very good point. Let me copy them and say counter 1, no, counter 0. Oops. Counter 0, and this will be counter 1. This would be interesting to see. And this one, of course, as well. Now I should do this here. And this one here. Because if they are not identical, then there's something else wrong. That may, by the way, be caused by the motors. If the motors are rarely exactly the same in behavior. Although the test has also shown that if I do it by timing and I couple them, they're going exactly the same. So it is possible. But let's see. Let's just see how this works out. So with this little code change, let's check again. And this time I press a sensor. And I should be seeing something. Am I seeing something? Print counter. Because I did touch a sensor 1. But am I seeing something? I don't think so. Contact 1. If contact 1, then what? Contact 1 speed, what, when, where? I don't see anything. Let's do it again. I am pressing a contact. Oh, see here. The wheels didn't run, but 5 and 4. Oh, that's interesting. They have different pulse counts. So then I touch the other touch sensor. barely did anything. They now they are the same. And here says pre is 0. Motor rechter is not defined. That's not logical. Okay, do it again. Aborted. I haven't had that in a long time. Ouch. I don't think this is funny. I have to actually kill the run. That has been a while. A long while. And I'm doing here. Let's do it again. Touching sensor. So now I have to see something. But do I see something? I don't. This is weird. My conclusion is though that some things have to be found out anyway, but the counters are not consistent and I really have to find out why and how. So that's one action to take. The other action to take is to get through the code again, but that is only logical when I am very sure that the pulse counters do work and do work consistently. And as yet, considering all the results I have gathered now, I'm less than assured that they do work correctly. Alright, what next? So to end this video, I'm going to add a few more the counter differences. So this has to be 0 and then here 1. Does it make sense? It probably will. No. And this is 0 and 1. And then it all depends, of course, on how things work, because the counters are dependent on the motors, and if the motors don't run the same or don't act the same as yours think they do, then you have a problem. That said, it is not to be I can't explain the change from 3 to 8 and 8 to 6. Well, 3 to 8 is maybe explainable, although it is a very big difference, but 8 to 6, no. In the past runs I also had 14 to 10 and 9 to 6, and I can't explain those either. Just like 8 to 14, no, I can't explain those. So let me do one more run, see if anything ends up nicely or not. holding my hand for the sonar, and it looks like I forgot to do the counter difference. Anyway, this doesn't look very good. It's pre and is 8. That may be so, but here it is 0, 4 and 4 to 8. Okay, so maybe it needs a bit time. I don't know yet. I have to find out. In the meantime, thank you for watching. This is far from being concluded. If you like this video and like my other videos as well, please consider to allow advertisement in between the video segments, or go to my website, which is listed under this video or at the start of my video, to do another form of donation to support my blog and website. And this is going to be continued. Bye bye.